Uri Lane, ladies and gentlemen, straight from Ripley's Believe It or Not. Our next guest has been a well-known and well-loved guitarist. They call him the guitarist ever since his first album, Surfing with the Aliens, sold over 2 million copies. That was your first album, right, back in the 1980s?
It was the third, actually.
Third?
But, yeah.
First one anybody knew about?
That's right.
Yeah, more
or less.
more to the point. These days, his work has taken a decidedly more technical turn. The legend himself, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Satriani. It's great to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
To the Screensavers.
Thanks.
So what was your third album?
It was, yeah. The first one was avant-garde little EP. Did it myself and sold it
in
out.
your basement?
I was living in an apartment, so I didn't have a basement then. But yeah, sold it out of the trunk of a '64 Corvair that shouldn't have been driving around. Yeah, wow. Didn't sell very many, and then got a credit card in the mail and financed my next record that had real, drums and bass and stuff like that. That one, a friend of mine really liked it, and he had just had success getting signed by a label in New York that was signing unusual guitarists. That was Steve Vai, and he turned me on to Relativity Records, and they signed me, and then said, well, you're going to do something with a little bit more something in it.
Commercial
and it turned out
appeal?
They wanted something that was rocking a little bit more. And I had sort of gone through my artistic phase there for a little bit with the EP, so I turned out Surfing, and that's the one that really clicked.
Were you a studio musician before that, or?
Not really, guitar teacher.
This was just, you were a guitar teacher?
Yes, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, I didn't like studio work because you had to play like other people, and that's very annoying. When
you wanted to play like you.
Yeah, you want to keep your own identity, but you can only make money if you're good at imitating what's hot at the moment.
Right, of course. Yeah, and unfortunately, that's always the case with mass media. They're very conservative. They just want to do what hit last time.
Yes,
that's something new. How did you do it in your basement? Did you have digital recording equipment, or were you just laying it down on tape?
In the early days, it was all done in studios with tape, of course, and we didn't really get into digital stuff until I did. I don't know, I guess we were editing together the G3 Live DVD, and just because we had so many performances to put together, we brought in Eric Kodja, and he was the first Pro Tools guy I ever met, and he knew that digital design software up and down, and once I saw what could be done,
isn't it?
Yeah, I said, well, it would be nice to get out of a studio and into a normal living location and remove the element of time and location and do a record in a living room.
You have a great picture on your website of your living room, and
that's
what a cool looking place to work. It looks really fun. So you do most of your stuff there?
Now I do, yeah.
There it is. There's the shot right there. This is Satriani.com.
That's right. You've got it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is a nice. I have to say, I was really impressed with this site because it's not your average everyday site. This is a there's a multimedia. It's a very interesting site. You do chats in there. It's very interactive.
That's right. I'm on there every day answering
Are you?
Questions, and the layout and the functionality is. Really, credit goes to John Luini at Chime Interactive. He's made that site easy for me to sort of get around at, and then he's always bringing up what I think he knows what people out there online really want.
Right.
What makes them feel like they're part of a little community.
And it's the interactivity, it's the community.
Right.
But it's neat that you participate in it. Why every day? What do you do? Why is it that you want to be so much a part of that?
I think it's the same thing that makes me primarily a shy person want to get up on stage in front of thousands of people and put on a guitar and just start playing, And
do you find there are also young guitar? I mean, you're still a teacher in some ways. There are young guitarists who come on there and ask you stuff.
They do, yeah. And some of the questions we can redirect them to other pages that has the boring technical stuff.
This is you live in concert. You're performing Borg Sex, which is from the Engines of Creation LP, which was a couple of years ago, but really kind of a breakthrough in terms of the technology, right? That you used.
That's right. Well, everything was done without microphones. It was done in a living room, just on a couple of Macintosh computers, primarily using Pro Tools and Imagic's software as well.
I saw you said on the website that you'll create MIDI files and send them out to people, and then they work with them?
Yeah, you can email MIDI files to your friends, and Eric and I work like that for quite a while. And he would change them, send back an idea, and that was a great way to get things going at first.
It's kind of like playing chess by mail. It's music by mail.
That's
it's kind of a slow way to do it.
Musical chess.
But it works.
It works. It's great, yeah.
So you modify, or you get an idea, you send it to him, he'll modify it, send it back? Does he give you text, or is it just kind of a musical conversation you're having?
Sometimes.
Sometimes you just listen to it?
It's just a joke, yeah, a little something, throw this back at you.
That sounds really fun. That sounds really neat. You do have music on your site, right? People can download.
It's a funny thing with that. I'm signed to Sony Music, and It's a bit of a tug of war. You know,
They don't want you to do that.
They don't want. They issue a cease and desist, and we say we're not ready.
To you, but you're their artist.
I know. It's kind of odd that way. Sometimes they want us to do it. Other times they really don't. And sometimes I think it's because they just want everything directed to their side.
Right.
It's like that key to audio thing you guys were talking about before. It doesn't really work, and I think it's really a marketing ploy just to get people to go to a website that's got some other stuff on there they want you to see.
Oh, really?
For me...
What if they said to you, we want to put Key 2 or some sort of copy protection on your CDs?
Well, they did, and I said no. They gave me the option.
And you do have the right as an artist to say no?
Yes.
In your case, I guess,
yes,
not all artists.
Yes, Sony gives the artist the right to approve or not. So I certainly thought, well, most of my fans are sitting in front of computers. I do. All my guys in the band use computers to listen to music. It would be silly to take that away. And
now, you must not like people downloading your songs, though, on Napster or Kazaa or something. I mean,
to a certain extent, it's counterproductive to everything.
Right. I mean,
to getting...
you want to make a living.
To making a living.
But now, let's say Sony's not there. In the best of all possible worlds, would you like to sell your music directly to the artist, to the audience on the website, that kind of thing?
If I didn't have to, you know, fill out the orders and process them myself, yeah, I would hope that the labels would get into that. I mean, that's what they're good at. They're good at selling things.
That's what they do.
They're very good at that. And
But
they fund the artist, you know. They give the artist an interest-free loan.
So they have a role.
I'd like to see them lower the price of music. I think that would go a long way towards making the world a little less greedy as far as stealing stuff online.
Right. Why would you then put music up on the site?
Oh, to get people excited about a new direction. Like when we were doing Engines of Creation, which was a techno record, a complete departure from the rest of my catalog. We had to give people a little hint about where we were going.
Right.
And I've got a new record coming out June 25th. We'd like to do the same thing because we're shifting completely back to rock music and away from techno music, even though we use the same gear to produce it.
Sounds like the website, though, is a great tool for you to stay in touch with your audience, to let them know what you're doing, to promote your music in a very direct way.
Yeah, you know, if you go to our site, you look for the tour dates, you'll see that we have contest winners for every show get to come backstage.
That's cool.
We have an area for them to post reviews and photos from the shows they've just come to. And, of course, the listing of the shows. Each time we go out on tour, we give them a chance to fill out a template for what set list they'd like us to play.
Wow, they get to pick, to take requests.
They get pretty much to determine what we play, which is great.
That's awesome. That's really amazing. I like the way that you have taken your career, you've done it yourself, you've been independent, and you've made it work. And you still are in touch with the fans, which I think is kind of wonderful.
Yeah, the fans rule. You got to stay in touch with them.
And the music rules. Joe Satriani, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Great stuff. For more information on Joe's career, new tours, MP3 samples, we've got a link to Satriani.com and our website, Screensavers.com. Everything Satriani is there. Thanks, Joe. Really great to meet you.
Thanks
after all years of listening to your music.